everyone, and welcome back. Today is the day. VIVI is gone. We no longer have to worry about queuing into an auto loss whenever we're playing on the ladder, because I personally found that matchup very, very boring to play, so I just personally left. But with that said, Screaming Nemesis also got hit, making, in my opinion, Reanimator a lot more viable of an option. And the reason for that is mono red tend to be very difficult to deal with, especially when we're using red as our removal, like Torch and a Braid, not being able to really remove Screaming Nemesis all too well without really punishing us and still getting that damage across. And then if we didn't have a Bitter Triumph, or if we do have Bitter Triumph, it helps us out a ton. But mono red being one of the few decks to get hit, we lose Prof for this deck, but I don't necessarily think that that's that big of a deal. We get to just play Quantum Riddler, which feels pretty great, and we don't have to worry about getting comboed by VIVI, so that also feels great. And there are no 4 copies of Agatha's Soul Cauldron main board anymore. Obviously, maybe Roots will come around to playing it, but that is just obviously going to be much less of a relevant deck in comparison to what VIVI was. So with that said, we're going to try Grixis Reanimator. We're going to be playing Superior Spider-Man or the Mind Bitten in here. Our plan is to discard a lot of stuff with Fear, Terra, Winter Night Stories. It's actually snowing for the first time in this year around me, so that's pretty on theme. And then we're playing the Scholar as well to get a lot of our bigger stuff in the graveyard. The Bringer combo is in here, and then Arden here to finish it off if need be. So with that said, let's go game. All right, we go first here. We have some action. I've already fallen victim or fallen. I've been victimized by a Rest in Peace already. I'm going to say it that way. Turn 2, by the way. My opponent said, "Hey, man, I like what you're doing over there." And I said, "I really enjoy what I'm doing over here. Can you leave me alone?" And they're like, "No. Remove it." I said, "Okay." Yeah. I don't care. I think the longer we can kind of just hold here, the better, right? But I think what's going to happen here is I think they're going to duress me, and then they're going to bring back the Miner. I think it's going to be land duress or something like that. Oh, Vengeful. Sure. A way better card than the one I'm currently playing. Let's go human here. Play a weird detective. We take a damage. Probably one of those, I guess. Be a weird one because they can get a lot of stuff in their graveyard and turn our Bringer into a bad card. But because we already hit the 1 of Arden, or it's a 2 of Arden, I guess, not a 1 of. But because we hit Arden already, we can kind of just bring it out and just start winning that way. The Bringer is like kind of bad in this spot. Although the only real issue with that is Sephiroth's going to kind of go unanswered here. Yeah, I mean, it's good enough, I suppose. We'll take it. Oh, going first again here. Nice. Go Watery Grave. We got Watery Grave tap here. With Screaming Nemesis gone, it's kind of like a weird thing where I don't know exactly how much red I'm going to run into. Here. Sure. Turn 2 rest me. It's already happened once today. Like, what's the worst that happens if it happens the second time, you know? How about 2? You do this? Curious. Oh, snap. I genuinely just curious. I didn't know, but it fizzles the card. So what? This matchup's already chalked. We are screwed. Bam. Brutal. What is my opponent on? On some 4-color nonsense here. Boom. Alright. Alright. This one, I guess. Heard of that. This is where a situation like a Quantum Riddler is just really good. Although I think at some point we're probably gonna get hit with some graveyard hate. I would assume. But we have Bant Control, which is interesting enough on its own. I don't know. Authority is obviously bad, but with Screaming Nemesis Band, it always feels like maybe not exactly the optimal thing to be doing. He's taking 4 here. Sure. Echo. Here, I guess. I think I need another Mako here, to be honest with you. Thanks. Barrel this, I think. No more lies. Okay. I just don't really know. Maybe Doppelgang? Sure. This is hard casted, I guess. Not like I'm gonna really pivot right into anything anyway. Counterspell's no good here, brother. Brutal. Brutal. So ready. We're so prepared for nothing at all. We have it all, but we have nothing at all, you know? Mill. Okay. All right, my chances are going up. Three damage. So we're going to probably abrade my own creature here. I know it doesn't kill it, but I want to draw 2 here. Well, you know. I mean, that should get us close. Here. Well, we're only halfway through our deck, so I guess it's not fair to assume that we should have hit the correct card by now. This exiles itself, so it's not like awful. I guess. I'm gonna play Mako out anyway. In turn. I mean, we're so cooked here, dude. It doesn't really matter. So cooked here. Just ending the turn. Okay. We still haven't hit one. We are 23 deep here. Bro. Like, we gotta be able to hit it, right? We gotta believe, right? I mean, they probably have removal here. Sure, bro. Holy, man. Opponent first here. I feel like with 2 torches, we're good against like early game. We just kind of got to get to our kind of mid game here. And hopefully we'll draw land. A lot of control today. Really weird all the bans came up. And this is... ban season's typically when control's at its worst and mono red's at its best. But considering mono red is one of the cards that got hit in the head, or one of his cards got hit in the head, it feels like destiny over here, you know? Well, try. Going for land here. We miss. We have more stories than lands at this point, which is a bit tough. If I told you we're going to keep a 2-lander and draw more copies of this than lands, then, you know, gotta take my chances. The reason control tends to be worse in spots like this is because of the fact that you don't know what you're going to be playing against. So it's hard to kind of judge your stuff based on what you're seeing from your opponent when mono red's kind of down, things like that. But who knows? Maybe they're just jamming normal control. Maybe Cover Go Blue uploaded a video. Typically happens as well. I jam a creature now. If they don't have a counter spell this time around, it's going to get through pretty scot-free, but unfortunately does not. You have Arden in there. Our fear will miss out whenever we bring it all back, if we get to. There's a Biza, sure. Well, I have more cards than you, that's for sure. There's a Seam Rip, okay. Tapped out. Means they missed a land, I think. Alright, bro. Come on now. That. And we're going to try our best. Hopefully they like fully tap out or we rip a cavern, I guess. There's kind of options, but I don't feel great about either of them. They hold, so. And I don't have black, so it doesn't really matter what I do. So cooked, dude. I am so cooked here. Alright, maybe we have a chance. Maybe we do have a chance. Go here and then let's name like red. Tapped. I wanted to turn on all my stuff. We have the black mana here next turn, so it doesn't really matter. Okay.
I am the master of this world.
Alright.
There is clarity.
And they attack here, which is pretty huge for us. Do I have a fear in there? No, I don't really have a way to discard a card. Boy. Well, I guess I can get their Biza back, right? So it's actually okay. Here. We're bringing this back. 6, 12, so 6, 10. We put them to 2 here? I was gonna say, I think we get them to 2. They're not just dead. But we get to bring back Biza and gain life, which is weird. Biza would come back and be a 5/5. In which, with our deck, do we just not attack them out, right? I don't know. It's a weird one. And we have to mulligan this one, right? He just does really nothing there. This is a much better keep. I think we just have to bottom terror the peaks. Just keep that dude contained. Keep him in his lane. He's out here trying to thrive and we're telling him no. Okay. All right. Well, weird one. I don't know. I'm going for it. The problem is that it's lose if they do this right into it. Because they can take mine. But I feel like waiting is also just a losing plan. What's that card say? Oh, that's pretty cool. If that was an instant, that'd be insane, but okay. Maybe they don't have it. Opium. We coping? I think we're coping. Hope and cope. Alright. Don't have it, Smile. You definitely can't reanimate something from my graveyard. Oh, we're fine. Everything's fine. Okay, double overlord. Hey, there it is. So we can kind of cheese it here now. So if we bring theirs back, they still get theirs back. That's the problem. Mine, I have an Arden, however. And then what I do with Arden is I bring back their bringer. And it doesn't work, obviously. That has reach, but this has menace, so we attack. And it doesn't really work because it's getting exiled and brought back, so we just want to make sure that our play is good. Obviously, if they throw another one in there, then we're in a little bit of trouble, but they don't really have anything good in there for this to work off of. Quantum Riddler would actually not be that bad for them, whether they do that or not. Maybe they'll go for another Overlord. And then I'm bringing back the Riddler. Personally. Or the Harvester, honestly. Just like kind of get everything out of the way. My fears live, awkwardly enough. Although, if I can get to a situation where these fear missing outs are turned on, then the game's just over. So I probably should look on how to do that, maybe. Well, I only have one creature in there, so I know a start. Sorcery, land, creature currently in there, because obviously Arden can take from them. Okay. Fire this off. Decline. We have a creature, sorcery, land is what we need in there for sure. You can discard both. Then I can play here, and then we can do this. Land, creature. It's just not going to get any cheaper, huh? Let's try to do Overlord here. Oh, it's happening. Decline. Combat for all of them. Double fear trigger here. So that means we're going to get 2 more combats here. And then Arden can bring back a fear. Fine. So it's all settled. Everything's ready to go. So we went a very cool way. We have 2 additional combats. We get to go in here. We'll just grab a fear out. Fear comes out. Delirium will be on. And then we get to do combat 2 more times if we want. Even more so. But we have 1 more combat after this. An additional combat after that. And then we'd grab 1 more fear and have an additional combat. So we took 4 combats that turn, which is pretty wild to say the least. I like taking 4 combats as much as the next guy. All right, we will keep. We have some interaction. We have a fear. Everything's looking good. Talk right away. Sure. Starting town can make our black mana if we want it to. Let's go here. Name Mountain, I guess. Have it enter tapped. Obviously, we'd love to have a torch there. We just obviously don't. But we can play Starting Town and then Bitter Triumph a creature, especially if they overload on it. If they look like they're just going to hold protection on it, then just do something after, which is kind of what it looks like. So for me, I think it is just get the Verge down. Let's jam a fear here. All right, brother. Weird, but sure. Miss on land. The thing is, like, Doorkeeper Thrall doesn't even stop the Superior Spider-Man. Because it enters as a copy of a creature. All that stuff kind of happens on the stack. It's a bit weird. Alright. We attack, but won't counter on a target attacking creature. Whenever a modified creature you control deals combat damage, exile top card. You may play that card this turn. Okay, so they're going to miss out on that, of course. Okay, well, that's pretty cool, I guess. So, what is my plan here? Just like do this and scry, I guess. We'll bottom that. Do all that. Artifacts and creatures entering, so their enchantments and stuff will still do their thing. Sure. I honestly might just want to stall here a little. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stall for a turn. Something like that. Here. And then we have the Mind Bitten. Bitten of the Mind. Again, everything I have is basically a cast trigger, so it's a bit weird. Sure. Indestructible also doesn't work here, by the way. Because the Bringer forces you to sacrifice. Sacrifice gets around indestructible if you're not sure. But let's see what's up. Nice. I think I give Spiders Riot, right? Attack or... oh, no. Sorry, wrong creature, I suppose. Humane. Here. Again, this enters as a copy. I believe. Yeah. I think this works the way I want it to. Sure. I would like to do Bringer. The cast, right? Oh, if you cast it. All right. I guess I messed up, but it's whatever. I could have sworn it worked the other way, but it didn't sacrifice it, so I can always do it the way I need to. I guess it doesn't matter, right? Because they have this to protect it. So I'll just do this on Arden next turn, and then Arden will just bring back lifelinkers, I guess. Can't really attack me, though. My 4/4 is almost just good enough. I, for whatever reason, thought that this worked on the... If I would have just read the card, but I just... Whatever. You know what I mean? I see it, brother. Got to pop that 3/2. They let it go? Why? You messed up, I guess? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I just have a brick wall here anyway. I'll be honest, I think I'm just bringing back Arden anyway. Yeah, I'm bringing back Arden anyway. They have the same name. Little like legendary rule here, I believe. Yeah, and I'm just gonna bring back Arden. Or I can do the bringer, I guess, again. Yeah, honestly, doing bringer, I guess, the second time around will work. But I kind of already had the Arden plan figured out because I thought our opponent... I don't know, we both kind of just did whatever. But again, the torch wouldn't have got it regardless because of this. But maybe trying to torch it or just doing the Arden plan would have been better and just bringing back their creatures like a Doorkeeper Thrall. For them, it's just a flying... You know, creature. For us, it just works well. So I don't know, messed that one up a little bit. Oh, it's a weird one, but we'll try it here, I guess. Oh, here we go. Authority, bro. How do I ever win? I can't beat an Authority of the Councils. You kidding me? Can't beat that card. Oh, it's even worse. Okay, well now I'm just confused. Like, genuinely, now I'm just confused. I guess red here? Just call that fine? Ass? Sure? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, bro. Okay. So, I'm going to go back on the plan that I don't know what the authority's for. Is it just to make me play slower? Like... That it? Okay, I just hold here. Double strike. Like, is this why the authority's there for this type of stuff? I don't know, bro. I'm just here. Yeah, I don't know. That also what just happened, by the way, is why I'm not sold on this card. The legendary rule feels so bad. Oh, I mean, I'm blocking that thing, bro. And I'm paying the ward, and I'm sniping that boy. I mean, I have to not take 10 here. Obviously, if I just ripped the nuts. Okay, I didn't. And then, so, I mean, we're just on here. Here. Then just play. Pass, not played. Pass. Did I just not block this? No, it's tapped because of this. I was like, did I just not block this, bro? Am I turn the video off? If that's the case. I just don't deserve it. Double strike. Fear. Ace. That's sick. I like our opponent's deck. I don't know. 6 is a lot. So I'm gonna block it. Also, we benefit from block. I don't want it. Those aren't. Yeah, it's just over. Human. What? No, that's honestly not that great. I'm gonna just do this, bro. I'm gonna take one more turn. I'll wait. I think we're in that weird position where we can just wait, and if they kind of oversaturate the board here, I can just kind of punish them for doing so. Like next turn, I'm going to have a Quantum Riddler just available. And I was kind of hoping to just find a way to draw some cards here, but I guess not. Like draw, discard, but seems like we're falling a bit short here. I got a 4-6. I'm at 16. Sure. I might be playing too much. Might be playing too much. I think I'm playing too much. That's why I'm playing too much. All right. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I do have to just like yam here. I was wanting to get Arden to the grave, but it just couldn't happen. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. I don't have 3 black mana though, so we have to get rid of that. All right. Fair enough. 3. That solves. Here. And creature instant land. This is an instant. Go to bringer, I guess. Cycle here. Oh, mamma mia. I have. So that is 10, 18, 20. So not enough. This sets them to take 14. Takes like half their life total here. I do have a torch. Can tutor though. That's the only real problem. Let's do this. You're tapped. Pass. I definitely maybe played around too much. Taking that 7 was pretty brutal. Now we just want them to attack here. Do a cool little combat trick here. Block, stack it with torch and shoot that. So we don't even have to threaten our 4/4, or we could just block with the 4/4. No, because they're not getting it from themselves. They're getting it from the corpse. Yeah, I messed around a little too much there, but we end up coming away with it, so it didn't really matter all too much. All right, here we are with the list after it's all said and done. I don't know why I found one of those, maybe off of a reward or something, but we are here with Grixis Reanimator. Grixis is really what I thought I would end up playing if I was going to play like the Superior Spider-Man or here as the Mind Bitten. It's kind of the color combination I thought I would actually end up playing if I was going to play Reanimator and try to really solve it to grind it to something like Mythic or something like that. And I think right now we have the best opportunity to do so because we're in a very weird spot with kind of how the bans worked. So typically when a ban happens or like new sets drop, right? When you try to test new cards, that's when like mono red is typically at its peak, or like your really strong aggro decks are at their peak, because other decks typically slot in a lot more. Mono red, or just like kind of gruel aggro or something like that, just slots in like 4 cards and sees how it goes, or see how it goes. Or some cards are pretty obvious. For example, like you're playing for Screaming Nemesis, why would you not, right? So when those cards come out, they just get jammed. But when we're trying to play a strategy like this, and all we kind of get is something like on a red that just, quite frankly, stomps us, right? Like, it's just so hard to keep up with. And something like a Torch punishing us against like a Screaming Nemesis, where we can only remove it with that type of effect, or red removal just gets kind of bad. It's just fine. We just find ourselves in a weird spot when it comes to that matchup, is all I'm really trying to say. But now that it's gone, and I haven't seen mono red too much, that allows us to actually try to build out the deck and see what we like, what we don't like in a lot of the other matchups. And whenever we do kind of face red again, and when red kind of comes back around, which it definitely will, mono red is kind of always a deck. It's cheap and affordable, obviously, on the Arena client. But when it comes back around, we're going to hopefully have a deck that is good enough against maybe everything else. Maybe not super solid in Tread or something, but good enough that if we're at a 60-40 win-loss rate with them, and we're at, you know, a 60-40 against the rest of the field, we'll feel pretty okay about it. And we just don't get crushed to make us feel like a card that we're trying out is just bad or something like that, if you've ever kind of been there. It happens a lot in Modern when kind of something big drops and a lot of decks are being tested. That's when Boros Burn typically came around. But now with Boros Energy, like, Burn just can never come out of the woodwork because they can't beat an Ocelot Pride. So it's very weird the way the meta kind of shifted. VIVI being gone, which is like, thankfully, in my opinion. But it is the mirror season, it seems like. And especially when we get to Lorwyn, if Avatar doesn't tend to change much up for some reason, which I like a lot of the cards in it, but I'm just not entirely sure how standard playable they're going to be in comparison to like commander playable. But this deck felt good. I like it. I don't necessarily think Sultai is a requirement. I don't think green's a requirement to get your graveyard full of cards you need. I think these kind of tend to do it well enough. Now, obviously, losing profs in a deck like this makes it a bit weirder, but I didn't personally like profs all too much anyway, just because I felt like we're kind of diluting what our plan is to be, and that's to get this guy in our hand and have these guys in the graveyard. So without it, I feel pretty good. I feel like Grixis is finding a home. Mako seems like a weak card, but it's also really good. I could argue that this is going to be a card that might get cut, and then you're looking at some weird cards here. This obviously feels a little bit better than the stories, just because, one, it's a creature we can play, but two, if we block with it, it dies. It's another creature that gets to come back with a bringer, and they kind of serve the same purpose. The only difference is this is 2 cards in one in comparison to 1 card only. So you kind of have that weird little synergy with that you have to kind of worry about a bit. Other than that, Bitter Triumph, great for the deck. A Braid, maybe not necessarily needed. It's kind of there for like affinity and things like that, or just like the random artifact thing like a Ghost Vacuum or something if you have to randomly pick that up. Can't really do much about Rest in Peace. We just kind of lose to it. But that is what the Fear of Missing Out, Terra, and Mako plan is there for. So if they're just play Rest in Peace and hope you do nothing, well, maybe this can get us there, right? So with that said, I hope you all enjoyed the video today. I'm finally glad to be recording again, not sitting here in a weird corner, be like, oh man, VIVI's just still out there. You know, it's kind of an exciting time to play Magic again. So that is great. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.